What's going on, peeps? Welcome back to The Appeal, where we take a look at controversial creators and try to find the best parts of their content. I usually cover musicians, but this time I want to switch things up to talk about one of my favorite streamers at the moment, Kai Cenat. I first heard about Kai through Adin Ross's E-Dates in 2021. Something about him stood out to me. Maybe it was his fun energy, charm, and positive demeanor. It led me to check out his own content, and the rest is history. After his breakout year in 2022, Kai swiftly took over the streaming world. As of 2023, he is undoubtedly one of the biggest streamers in the world, hailing at 7 million followers on Twitch. He's had various celebrity guests on his streams, such as 21 Savage, Lil Baby, and Ice Spice. Now, not everybody has the same perspective on Kai that I do, so I want to try my best to explain the appeal of Kai Cenat. To start this off, when you tune into a Kai Cenat stream, there are certain moments that feel almost like you're watching a cartoon or television show. Think of a content idea right now and there is a chance that Kai has already done it. I think his Mafia-thon, where he live streamed for the entire month of February, is a great example. I heard somebody say it's a live stream version of iCarly and I can't unsee it. There's just so many random things going on that it can start to get overwhelming. What other live streamer is having firework wars and chasing his friends around with a chainsaw? Keep in mind that there could be moments that are somewhat scripted or planned to happen, but not gonna lie, it's hard to tell. His perfect comedic timing ties into making these broadcasts so entertaining. To bring back the cartoon comparisons here, he's the obvious main character who presents himself as a silly, active extrovert from New York that loves women and dancing. But every show has its side characters. He's part of a content creation group called AMP, Any Means Possible. They all live in the same house in Atlanta in the UK. You'll see frequent appearances from fellow Bronx hustler Phantom, known for his unpredictable humor and love for food. You might see him bust through Kai's door like the Kool-Aid Man when he smells a feast in the air, despite Kai's attempts to keep Phantom from taxing him. Then there's Agent 00, who's got a bit of a creative tough guy persona, unless Duke is in the house. He's pretty much the stereotypical cool guy of the group who gets all the women he pleases and is described as having Superman-like athleticism. The only time they truly get to him is for his age. The other members of AMP are I'm Davis and Chris Next Door, who are more reserved compared to everyone else. They pretty much serve as the backbones or big brothers of AMP. That's not to mention the variety of guests he's had over the years, such as his buddies Adin Ross, I Show Speed, Bruce Drop 'Em Off, Your Rage, and most recently, Ray. You never know who's gonna show up on a Kai stream next. It could be KSI, Offset, Mario, Lil Uzi Vert, 21 Savage, or Barack Obama? Kai Cenat streams feel like a black comedy show, and given his interest in pursuing an acting career, maybe this is all practice. Another reason people appreciate Kai is for his bag of catchphrases he'll pull out every stream, addressing his bros as gangy, shouting God did when something good happens when nobody believed in you, and laying out an indeed or word in response to a situation he agrees with. A lot of people credit him for popularizing several slang terms people use every day, one being sturdy, used for somebody who can dance, typically in reference to New York style rhythm. Kai, being a great breakdancer, helped push this word around the world, whether it's his clips being labeled as him getting sturdy or helping his special guests get sturdy. It's led to millions of people online posting videos doing similar moves or attempting to become sturdy. The most popular phrase he helped push to the moon is Riz. Now it's starting to get a bit cringe and it'll likely be known as this generation's swag, but it basically means when you are good at spitting game to females and contain this confident demeanor. As the wise man Kai said, if you can make a girl laugh and giggle, you can make that ass clap and jiggle. This would become a common phrase he'd use in his live streams when describing how many women he can pull. Plus, his fanbase gasses him up for having it after seeing several clips of his romantic interactions. It started off as a fun, loose term, but as it grew, it developed into something Kai himself is pretty embarrassed by. He might describe people that compliment him as glazers, questioning why they're on his dick so much. So yeah, his overall influence through the use of catchy phrases broadens his appeal, for better or for worse. As I discussed before, Kai is a great breakdancer. Growing up in New York, a city credited for its diverse dance scene, he was constantly surrounded by the art of dancing. He also praises Michael Jackson as his favorite musical artist of all time, likely practicing his most famous dance moves as a child. There are not a lot of live streamers who got anything close to the moves that Kai does, so when a dance trend drops, everybody's looking at Kai to see if he can perfect it, such as the Just Wanna Rock dance that went viral in fall 2022. The song's creator Lil Uzi Vert loved it so much that he invited Kai to become a part of the music video filmed in New York City. He dropped the location for all of his followers to pull up and be a part of it. My point is that this dude has an energy you don't always see in streaming, and it's the reason he's become so popular. The dude is extremely active and tries his absolute hardest to entertain his audience. It helps that he is 21 years old and wasn't born in 1987. I can imagine he falls asleep as soon as he ends the stream, as yelling and dancing for several hours can lead to a good night's sleep. Dude's energy is most certainly positive. He just seems like a friendly, kind soul at heart who genuinely enjoys what he is doing. He doesn't constantly try to get into beef with people, and when he does, he manages to squash it fairly quickly. The dude is super diverse when it comes to content creation. He's able to adapt to the vlog style on his main channel, where he goes around playfully messing with other people, or just has a fun time living in the moment. He's mainly labeled as a just chatting streamer, but trust me, he can still game sometimes. Sure, he isn't the greatest gamer on Twitch, but he doesn't try to be the best. So it gets you excited when he wins a Fortnite game or makes it to the top of the Only Up game. It seems like no matter the environment, Kai finds a way to fit in. Even when it comes to music, he has an official rap song with Enely Choppa called Bust Down Rolly Avalanche, inspired by a freestyle he did during an AMP cypher. This became known as his go-to verse, sparking memes and requests for an official song. Choppa offered to hop on and do a music video as well. It was released on May 8th, 2022 and currently has 58 million streams on Spotify. It's a genuinely great song, and Kai has since done new verses for AMP music content and collaborated with iShowSpeed on Dogs. It's nothing serious, just a little fun side hustle. He was able to make YouTube rap not look corny, meaning everything looks natural when he's hanging out with these actual musical artists. Just look at the guests he gets on his live streams, these rappers who have these tough street rapper personas, and Kai is able to release the fun, goofy parts inside of them. Where else do you see 21 Savage beating Kai in an NBA 2K match and laughing his ass off knowing Adin Ross owes him 5K, or Offset pulling up with a bunch of bags to have a sleepover? It's a rare break for these rappers who are constantly busy and stressed to have moments of joy and wholesome fun. Truly heartwarming to see Kai as a bearer of positivity for these celebrities. The truth is that Kai wasn't always living this lavishly. Before he became famous, his mother and siblings were living in Georgia shelters. His father was an absent parent. Not having a dad in the picture was a struggle. He's always been close with his mother due to this, calling her a superhero. After getting back on their feet, they went to Brooklyn, New York City. This is where everything changes. He started getting tapped into the internet culture, posting skits of himself on Facebook that were spread around his middle school. Even though he'd sometimes get bullied, he still aspired to be a comedian. He branched to Instagram and eventually YouTube in 2018. His explosive personality had his core audience engaged and wanting more. He did skits, pranks, and challenges. However, the balance of school and content creation was tough on the young man. He dropped out of the State University of New York in Mooresville. This led to him meeting up with AMP, getting discovered by Phantom. The group quickly found something special in the kid, and he would become a permanent member. Thus began his Twitch live streaming journey in February 2021, where he'd do gaming and reactionary content. He lived in his mom's house for the time being, but he skyrocketed to success after various clips of him spread around the internet, such as a rat being spotted in his crib live on air. Soon, AMP linked up with Adin Ross for this legendary stream. He then participated in several of Ross's E-Dates and developed even more of a following. TikTok also played a factor in his fast climb to internet fame, where he seemed to be having viral clips every week. He'd have more special guests like Bobby Shmurda, his WNBA Tinder date, and a boogie with the hoodie. He would teach every guest how to get sturdy. All of his social media platforms went up in the millions, and he was now averaging 100,000 viewers a stream. His Twitch subscriber count became a big discussion point. The night he hit 100k, he was surrounded by a big group of friends who celebrated with him. He was poised to break the all-time record following this. He'd then take home the Breakout Streamer and Streamer of the Year awards at the 2022 Streaming Awards. He was at the top of the streaming world within a year. This would result in the launch of his Mafia-thon, where he planned to stream for the entire month of February. By the end of the streaming marathon, he broke the all-time Twitch subscriber record once held by Lugwid on February 28th, peaking at 306,621 active subscribers. His journey from a homeless shelter to internet royalty is an aspiring journey that anyone could dream for. Despite his high follower count and billions of impressions, Kai is still a very relatable person. He's not afraid to show off his chaotic personality even around important people. I can almost see it as an inspiration for people to embrace the fun side of themselves more often and not be afraid to be embarrassed. Never been afraid to wear the same fit twice. Never been afraid to have one pair of shoes. Never been embarrassed to sleep on the floor. Never been embarrassed to struggle. You gotta go through hard times before you live lavish. I know it's on the way, so I'm forever humble. This is what he said in January 2021, before he truly took off. Another part of his brand is being short. He tries to claim he's 5'8", but there are several reports stating he's at least 5'3" or 5'4". Despite being fairly short for a man, he's able to take these jokes well and still manages to pull women either way with his charm. It's possible because of this that men of similar height might stop feeling insecure about themselves and actually feel like they have a chance at romance. There's somebody for everybody. One thing I can certainly relate to with Kai is his passion for faith and religion. Not a lot of people talk about this side of him, but I notice it. He was raised in a Christian household and has since had a close connection with Jesus. Even if some parts of his lifestyle drift away from the faith, he has been very open about his belief in God. All his success he claims is the Lord's doing. There will be times during his live streams where he'll do a prayer with his audience. What other live streamers are doing this? It's great to know personally that my favorite streamer believes in the same God as I do. Amen. You won't get far in life if you don't put in a lot of hours to get there. Kai certainly has. His streaming schedule is unbelievably consistent. Sure, he isn't doing 15 hours a day like XQC does, probably because he doesn't have a contract with Twitch somehow. Yet you'll see him stream at least 5 times a week with an average of 10 hours per stream, filled with entertainment and a break from reality. But trust me, when he isn't streaming, he is still working on other projects. Keep in mind he is still part of AMP, who produce weekly content. He has to film for that as well as collaborations with other streamers and solo ventures like short films. He's always trying to do something with his time. I don't think you all understand the amount of work that goes into these subathons he does. Planning out events that will happen each hour of the day, staying awake most of the time. It can be stressful, and thankfully he has a team behind him that helps get in contact with whoever he wants to bring on stream for that specific day. He always feels like he needs to top everything he does each time. That 24/7 stream he did for one day? That's cute. How about an entire month of that? Well, he hasn't done a subathon since, mainly because he completed his goal of becoming the most subscribed to on Twitch. That doesn't mean he was going to dumb down his content. He was still giving it his all because he still knew that he could take things slow and have a more chill stream, letting those new followers he gained get a comfortable image of him. Then boom, massive event. He's a unique streamer that has certainly raised the stakes of what live streaming can be.
Reporting live from the North,
A key part of his success is his ability to create memorable moments on his platforms. As a man who has studied the internet for years, Kai knows how to go viral and what will generate him a lot of clicks. It could be complete luck, like that rat appearing on his stream, or somewhat expected, like Chrisan Rock putting a hole in his wall. Whether the moments are unintentional or planned, the most important part is that you will remember the clip, and maybe even Kai himself. It could lead to a viewer wanting to learn more about the creator, and if stuff like this is an everyday occurrence. Spoilers, it is. He's good at forming friendships and connecting with all people no matter how different they are compared to him. Knowing this, he can help them step out of their comfort zone, such as gaming nerd XQC trying to get sturdy. He knows about the current trends on TikTok like turbulence and the NPC challenge. Even when he gets into arguments with AMP members that he pretty much instigates, he knows how to turn it into a memorable moment based on his reaction. Like when Agent body slams him and he whined about not wanting to get clipped. Stuff like this just brings this back back to my cartoon theory, because where else are you seeing a response like that? Even though he looks like a loser, he takes it on the chin and gets away with it. He's been compared to a chihuahua as he bites more than he could chew sometimes, leading to him getting put in his place because look at him. Nobody can take him all that serious, which is why people find him to be so entertaining. He is willing to make a fool out of himself for clips. He is not only a great content creator, but a marketing genius. Bro energy and positivity, really. Bro energetic. I could be in a bad mood, watch Kai, and get in a better mood for real. I used to watch him heavy on YouTube because I didn't want to pay no ads. Every New York City middle schooler knew about Kai on YouTube back then. I'd pull up on his YouTube while doing my homework. He ain't so serious all the time. Even though he's my favorite streamer, there are a few reasons people are hesitant on the dude. A lot of people have dismissed Kai as a streamer who only makes content that kids would enjoy, describing his humor as childish and over the top. I personally don't see this argument. I feel like his target audience is at least high school or college level humor. It could vary. Others get annoyed by his explosive personality as they feel like he is way too loud and expressive in his thoughts. Political streamer Destiny wasn't happy about this new crop of streamers like Kai and Speed. There could be a case that people find his content a little cringe, especially when it comes to female interactions. I've seen people also say he is setting the bar too high for streamers and they miss the simple presentations one's had in the past. Plus, the more you get famous, the more people you end up influencing in their current behavior. People have called out Kai for popularizing unspoken riz, leading to cringe TikToks of kids trying to pick up girls. He's also been blamed for other incidents of reckless behavior. It has led to Cenat being banned multiple times by Twitch despite being one of the biggest creators on the platform. This isn't even the worst thing he's been a part of. There was a riot in Union Square this year. The plan was for AMP to do an innocent giveaway donating PlayStation 5 consoles in the middle of New York City Square in Manhattan. What he didn't expect was the entire area to become swarmed by thousands of fans, which was too much to control for NYPD. Kai and his posse were later arrested for inciting civil unrest, first-degree rioting, and unlawful assembly. While he definitely should have organized this event better, Kai shouldn't be responsible for the actions of his fans, in my opinion. All he wanted to do was give back to his home state, and instead he got thrown into jail for a riot he clearly didn't expect to happen. The result of this case is unknown at the moment, but given he's been streaming regularly again, I'm gonna assume he'll be just fine. This final incident I want to address is very serious, so please skip to the end if you don't want to hear about it. Kai wanted to ring in the year of 2023 with a New Year's Eve party featuring his friends and others. However, there was a claim made from that night by Jovi Penna that she was raped by one of Kai's high school friends, Jigwi Sek. She stated that Cenat advised her to go to sleep in an upstairs room because she was too intoxicated to leave the party safely. While asleep, Sek apparently entered the room and yeah. He responded on stream stating that he had gone to speak with the police and his attorneys as to why his explanation was not acted earlier. Since then, Sek put out his side of the story claiming that the two had slept together consensually, even showing video proof of them doing the deed. Okay, that's a little strange. Either way, no updates have come from the incident since. I don't know where this case will go, but Kai was blamed for this, being the bigger name, calling it a cover-up. It's a horrible situation if it happened. If it didn't, screw her. But I don't think Kai should be blamed for another incident he didn't want to happen. Thank you for watching this video. Sorry for how heavy it got at the end there, but I had to address it. Kai Cenat is by far my favorite streamer at the moment, and I am proud of how far he has come. I wanted to make this video to showcase his appeal and why people enjoy this man's content. Seeing him become the fastest growing streamer in history has been rather satisfying as someone who started watching him in December 2021. I'm so excited to see what he does in the future. Given his interest in acting, I'd love to see him on the big screen within 5 years. Dang, this ran pretty long, so if you want to drop a sub, like the video, share it, I'd appreciate it dearly. What's your all-time favorite Kai moment? I'll see y'all next time. Peace.